guys, Combat Critic here. In this video I want to talk about this new sport that has come up, which is called the sport of slap fighting. A lot of people are talking about it. A lot of people saying this should be allowed. A lot of people are saying they should be banned. In this video I'll give you my thoughts and what I feel about this sport. So first of all, what is slap fighting? So as you can see in this picture, this pretty much sums up the sport. You have two guys who are standing across each other and they take turns slapping each other. The guy who goes down the earlier is declared the loser and his opponent is declared the winner. So I have a lot of problem with this sport. First of all, as you can see in this picture, this guy is nowhere the same size as this guy. This guy obviously weighs like twice of this guy, but if this was in a boxing match or in an MMA fight, these two will be in different weight classes. But slap fighting does not have a concept of weight classes. You can fight a guy who is 100 pounds lighter than you. You will obviously knock him out with one slap and that's fine. Like, nobody has a problem with that. As you can see in this picture, this guy probably went to sleep after taking just one slap from this giant. Also, another issue I have with this sport is like, it's not regulated, and because it's not regulated, most of the regulators have said they will not allow this sport except one. I'll tell you guys what regulator it is. Here are my issues with this sport. First of all, there are no weight classes. You can fight a guy who is 50 pounds lighter than you, 100 pounds lighter than you. It's fine. Second of all, you have no way to defend. So in a boxing match, in a MMA fight, there are ways, there are techniques you can do to defend yourself. You can put your hand up. You can, if you're in a MMA fight, you can maybe shoot for a takedown, shoot for a single leg or a double leg. There are things you can do to slow down the pace of the fight if you are getting beat up. But in slap fighting, you can't defend yourself. You can't do anything. There are no techniques involved. Even if somebody says no, there are ways you can defend, no, there's no such ways where you can defend in slap fighting. You just have to keep eating the slaps of your opponent until either you go down or he goes down. Third, there's only pure brute force involved in this sport, so the bigger man will usually win, and there's no really technique or anything. You just want to hit with this side of your palm and just cause as much damage to your opponent as possible. Just swing for the fences. There are no techniques involved, no skill, no strategy, nothing. Just pure brute force. This is a very barbarian sport. Now, last and most important is the fight. I don't know if I should call these fighters or what. The participants in these, contests, they get a massive head trauma due to all this, and I'm sure each one of them has got a concussion at some point in their slap fighting career. Now, so this is an image of another slap fighting tournament which is called Slap League. This is pushed by UFC and Dana White. Again, in this picture you can see this guy with his frail arms is not the same size as this guy. So if this was in boxing or in MMA, these two guys would have been in separate weight classes. Here you see the lighter guy is getting hammered by the big guy. Now let's look at some of the rules of power slap. So power slap is this organization which is a premier organization in slap fighting. It is started by the UFC, and I can see why they pitched this concept, because in today's Instagram and TikTok world, you have these clips that are going viral of 15 seconds, people knocking out and their opponent is convulsing on the ground, he is going unconscious. Those clips will be clicked very frequently, and power slap will be a huge hit if they allow it to continue. However, let's look at some of the rules. So power slap, which has been licensed by the Nevada State Athletic Commission. So I don't know how this commission licensed such a barbaric sport. Let's continue. Uses rules similar to those established by other slap fighting leagues. After a coin toss to decide who goes first, the first striker has a time limit of 30 seconds to deliver an open-handed slap to the opponent. Slaps must be below the eye but above the chin. So basically below the eye, above the chin, you have this cheek area. You can slap anywhere here without leading with the palm, such that all hand to face contact takes place at the same time. So you hit your opponent in such a way such that a whole of your palm hits his face at the same time. Those being slapped may not flinch, raise their shoulder or tuck in their chins. Now this is the worst of this. This is why I said there's no real way to defend yourself, because you cannot flinch, you cannot raise your shoulder, you cannot tuck in your chin. Then what can you do? In boxing, they always say that you have to keep your chin tucked in. Don't keep your chin high. In MMA also this rules apply. You cannot, if you are keeping your chin high, then you have a higher chance of getting knocked out. But here you cannot tuck in your chin, you cannot raise your shoulder, you cannot even flinch. So you just have to stand there like a dummy, and your opponent will slap you as hard as he can. After being slapped, the slapped competitor then has 30 seconds to recover and get back into position before it's their turn to slap. Fights which don't end in a knockout and go 3 rounds go to the judges decision using a 10-point system. So they have a maximum of 3 rounds, and if fights are not over in those 3 rounds, then they go to a judges decision which uses a 10-point system. I don't know how you score this 10-point system. The 10-point system has to be used in MMA, and it's controversial. A lot of people think it is taken from boxing and it should not apply to MMA. Now how will it apply in slap fighting? I have no clue. So this is a pretty barbaric sport. The rules are also favored such that you cannot defend. You just have to hit your opponent's slap and just hit the ground and go unconscious. Now let me talk about what I think will be the future of slap fighting. I am pretty confident about the future. What I'm going to show you will 99.99% happen in the future. I see a lot of pressure building up in banning this sport, banning this league, power slap. Let's see what I think about the future. So reform, change rules to make it safer. This could be one way that you're reforming the slap fighting, power slap, all these organizations, or perish. This is the last thing. If you don't reform, then you will have to perish, because eventually Nevada State Athletic Commission will also, when people start going unconscious and the doctor starts saying that this gives the fighters massive CTE, then even NSAC will have to take back their license, and they will also declare the sport illegal, like a lot of other athletic commissions have done so. So these are the only things I see for this sport. Either it will reform and make it safer such that fighters can maybe defend. There are weight classes, there's some limit to the brute force and some skill that gets involved. Otherwise this sport will have to go away, and UFC and Dana White will have to swallow this hard pill. That's it for this video. Let me know what you feel about this sport and what do you think is the future of slap fighting. I'll see you guys in the next video.